This video goes out to anybody who will be impacted by layoffs now in the future, screwed over by connections or politics. These observations have come from my entire career, as well as observations I've seen from my friends and colleagues. I would love if you like, subscribe to be a part of the fight, and share with somebody in the struggle. Kissing ass can prolong your career. I didn't kiss ass at Amazon.
Bruh.
I was sick. I was going to the emergency room. LeetCode is a scam. If you guys knew what some people got behind closed doors, it will make you realize how much race does play a part of somebody's career because they have connections. I wish I would have quiet quit Amazon. If you don't know me, my name is Rami. I am a ex-Amazon, ex-Twitch, ex-Google intern. And this channel is the Black Tech Experience. It's not a Black channel. It's about inspiring, innovating, and breaking down barriers in tech. So today I wanted to give you 7 lessons that I wish I would have knew before being laid off. I was laid off from Twitch and I quit Amazon before it got bad. And so I'll start with number 1, quiet quitting. I think people, or I'll talk in a general sense, it's very easy to, if somebody is in a toxic relationship, that you feel like you can prove them wrong with your work ethic. If you just keep working hard, then eventually it'll show up. And I think in some cultures, that's just not true. I think when somebody has destroyed your character and they have told lies about you, and nobody's around to check that behavior, right? There's just nothing you can do. And so I worked weekends and nights and turned in things that my teammates could not have done. And all they did is just take that stuff and used it and said that I was not a good employee. And so number 2, I wish I was more direct. You know, if you see somebody take credit for another person's work, you have to be direct about that. And you have to hold leadership accountable for what happened. And if they're not willing to be accountable for it, I think it's a sign going forward that that's not a type of culture that I want to be a part of. I think everybody in corporate has had those stories of somebody taking credit for their work or presenting on something that they did and they get moved up the food chain. I've seen people who have worked 5 years in tech just to get a promotion that somebody came in a year and a half got. And so corporate definitely does play favorites, and they do favor young talent that is more easily ready to train. I wish I was more direct. I wish I would have spoke up for myself earlier, and I wish I would have moved on, but I digress. Number 3, I wish I would have documented more things. I documented a lot. I documented a lot of things, but I don't have those files today. A lot of companies are adopting this new Slack policy where they just delete old messages. And I think that's to hide some of the dark things that go on inside of those Slack messages. And it's just for defense. And so don't take home confidential information, but it's just having your own documentation for some of this stuff is important. And I'll give you another example. Amazon is asked me for like $1,600 because I quit within the first 2 years. And so they feel like I owe them relocation bonus. But in one of the documents that I signed before leaving, it said that I had no more, I have no obligation to pay any relocation back. And so that's the point. Like, you have to keep these documents. And I think when I quit, I was in a very emotional state. I felt like I was betrayed. Um, and I think because of that, I just wanted this stuff to be over as soon as possible. But yeah, I don't blame myself. If I could go back again, I would do that. I would say, like, take none of that stuff personally and just document, everything, that all the conversations you've had with your manager, your skip level manager, everything, because you just never know when that stuff comes in handy. And so, number 4, I wish I would have trusted my skip level manager less, you know? And I'll keep talking in a general sense because, yeah, some people in corporate, they smile in your face, they make jokes with you, they're happy to talk about your children or whatever big things are going on in your life. But behind closed doors, they're just not advocating for you. They're not, somebody could be smiling in your face and talking you down in meetings that you're not in. And so, yeah, it's like trust is something that you have to earn. And some people are trustworthy. I'm not going to say like all of Amazon was bad, because I met great engineers and great mentors and great people. It's just knowing who you can trust and knowing who you can't trust is important for a long career. And I would say to default on not trusting anybody until they have proven that they are somebody that is worthy of your trust. And so, yeah, I feel like that, I had a friend who my manager said he was just stiff. Like he didn't like playing around with the team or whatever. And he really wanted this guy to open up. And I understand more of where he was coming from now, because I know what is possible, how teams can treat you. Like corporate, when you go to any tech company, they always talk about this big, happy family and we're working together. And perhaps maybe that's what they used to be, or that's what they are. It could be that they are that. It's just right now we're in a very volatile working environment. Maybe that's because of AI. Nobody knows what their job is. And we're seeing like companies that have been rated #1, such as Google and Meta, just laying people off because of performance, not because, or they say it's performance. It's like, it's just like a silent layoff because, yeah, I don't think companies need us as much as they used to in the past, but I digress again. I would definitely say don't trust people. Let people earn your trust, and be careful who you're talking to, because yeah, that's all I'll say about that. What are we at? Number 5. LeetCode is a scam. LeetCode is a scam. Oh my God, bro. Like, I can't even tell you how many times in my career that I've actually done a LeetCode style question while programming. And so my mentor, I guess my Google internship host, he talked about how he spent months solving this problem. And so it became the problem he asked, or not months, I want to say that. Let's say he spent like a few weeks working on a problem. Let's just say that. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He spent a few weeks working on a problem to solve it. And then he's starting to ask it that same problem for people to solve in a 45-minute interview. And if they don't solve it, then they're just not good enough to be in there and be in Google. It's a scam. And, I've seen a lot of people at Google, and I've met people at Amazon, Twitch, who got into the doors without having to study LeetCode. My friend said he got into Twitch without even doing any LeetCode. And so he's a senior software engineer. He's making $500,000 a year. And that's because of my next point. But let me just hammer this down. It's not LeetCode is such a lie. It's such a waste of your time. I've spent 6 years studying LeetCode to get into Twitch, and I don't think that that time was well served. I could have been learning how to build software up from the ground. I could have been getting mentored by another software engineer. I think these things would have been 10 times better than LeetCode. But yeah, that's life. You live, you learn. And I think I probably have another video out talking about how I'll probably never try to do another LeetCode style interview in my career if I can help it, just because it's a waste of time. And so, yeah, definitely some companies don't cater to that. But I'll move on. LeetCode is a scam because corporate is about clicks. You know, when somebody vouches for you, this is probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned while being in corporate. If you have a manager that's willing to allow you to grow and is supporting you, that can be 100 times better than, LeetCode. Because I met a guy, he told me he didn't study any LeetCode, and he was one of the strongest engineers on our team because he had the chance to grow under a senior software engineer. And when that senior left, people had to lean on him. And so it's like, this dude, I have a master's degree. I have 90 grand in student debt, right? I have my 4 years, another 4 years for computer science. And you're telling me this guy who doesn't even have a computer science degree, who went to a 2-month boot camp, he got into Amazon, but I couldn't. There's clicks, and people, like, when you know somebody on the inside, it really does help. I remember talking to another guy. Said he was an intern, and the question that he got asked in order to return to Amazon, he said, was a LeetCode easy problem. So if they know you and they like you, you get the LeetCode easies, right? But if they don't know who you are, you have no connections on the inside, you get the LeetCode hards. I had an interview with Uber, and I literally told the guy, I was like, hey, I've already seen this LeetCode medium problem before. Like, I want to be honest. I want you to, give me something else. So this dude pulls out a LeetCode hard problem. And so it's like, and then I didn't solve it in 45 minutes. He's like, I don't know if this guy is good enough. And it's like, you're judging me. You would think honesty in this, that's another point. You would think honesty means something in corporate, but it's really about what they can circle a box in their results. And so, yeah, LeetCode is a scam. Corporate clicks really mean something. Kissing ass can prolong your career. I didn't kiss ass at Amazon. Maybe that's why I had to get up out of there. But hey, I don't know. I made my money. I don't know. Whatever. Let me know in the comments. Do you kiss that? Okay. I'm back. Number 7, I think it's one of the most important lessons. And that's, your health is so much more important than a job. I was sick. I was going to the emergency room, and I still showed up to Amazon every day. And you would think that that was super appreciated, but it's not about that. It's not about who works the hardest. It's not about who is doing the most work. It's about appearances. And that goes back to one of my other points. You need to call it out when somebody takes credit for your work, because in the 48 laws of power, they talk about, like, take credit for other people's work. That's how you look better than you actually are. So, like, when you identify these sharks, whatever, you need to move on. But yeah, I'm glad that after my time at Amazon, my body has gotten a chance to heal. But, like, when I look, I used to record myself, and when I look back, it seems so silly to me how much I gave to those guys. And I think, just to be honest, it was because of the check. I really thought, I guess when you get tech check, right? Like a 10K check every month, and you get stocks, it's kind of hard. You kind of become addicted to that lifestyle that you're living. Like I didn't cook. All I did was work when I came home. I mean, no, I didn't work when I come home, but like not all the time is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I, if I could go back in time and tell myself something that, yeah, it's just your health is so much more important than these jobs and these people, and they will replace you in a second. And so, yeah, I would have, if I'm sick again while working on a job, I could have taken a break, right? I could have taken a break and I could have looked for a new team. But I think because of some of the things that were being said to me, I wanted the validation that I was working hard and I was an important part of the team. And I think that's another thing with being black and a minority is that you get caught up in this trap where you feel like you have to prove to everyone that you are worthy to be there. When they got in without even doing the leak code. They didn't even do the leak code, right? They got in because of their clique. I got in because I spent 6 years doing the leak code. And I'm trying to prove to these guys that I'm worthy to be with them, because if you spend years at Amazon or any of these tech companies, you learn a lot. That's so much better than leak code. And so, yeah, it's really sad, but whatever. I hope you guys really appreciate this. I would love if you like, comment, and share. I think people really need to understand that corporate is just not, or these FAANG companies are not what they used to be. It's not worth money, or money isn't everything. Your health is worth so much more. And like, you would think that these guys have talked about all these companies, Google, Apple, Amazon, all companies. They try to say like, oh, we have this fair process where we have a committee of people that are non-biased. They don't know you and they decide whether you get a promotion or whatever. But politics are still in play. You know, managers support some people and they starve some people and they feed other people that fit the agendas that they're on. And so it's a complex situation with diversity and inclusion. I definitely agree that, you know, I don't mind that people like Meta has said that they're going to stop their diversity and inclusion efforts. At the same time, like, man, if you guys knew what some people got behind closed doors, it will make you realize how much race does play a part of somebody's career, because they have connections, right? Like if I'm Indian or if I'm Asian and I have family members that I know and I want to vouch for in the system, and I have a whole network of people in my family and friends that'll vouch for me, it's a lot easier to get into these companies. But if there's very few black managers that are in there in the first place, we don't get the same skip door type privileges that other groups get. And so, yeah, I think that being put on a PIP at Amazon was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, because now I get to start my own business. And if you want to follow that journey, I really appreciate it. But other than that, deuces.